Holy but Jesus, I did not expect you guys to be this excited for part 2. I've been getting bombarded in the comment section every single day. Where is part 2? And I assure you guys, alright, I am more excited than you are to complete my setup. I haven't been sitting around on my sweaty butt cheeks doing nothing, okay? I've been planning a lot of things, I've been ordering a bunch of things, but alas, everything is finally here, so we have a lot of work to do. Before we begin, I want to give huge thanks to Rampow for sponsoring this video. The Rampow 61 watt power delivery system is the go-to all-in-one adapter. This super compact design is bag and pocket friendly because of its foldable charging plug. Next to the 13-inch MacBook Pro adapter, you can see just how small it is, and keep in mind this can charge many other devices with a USB-C charging port. This is thanks to its standard USB 3 power delivery and both Quick Charge 3.0 as well as 2.0. Rampow has taken use of GaN technology. This in tandem with the power integration chipset gives it optimal charging efficiency. It can also power a 13-inch MacBook Pro half full in just 30 minutes. It's also got a matte finish, making the embossed logo stand out. If you guys want to help support the channel and pick one of these up, check the link in the description section. So this is part 2 of building my dream setup, you guys. If you haven't seen part 1, pause this video and go check that out first. That way you're all caught up and you can see all the little modifications and upgrades that we did to get to this point. So yeah, this is pretty much where we left off. As you guys can see, we installed both the monitors, the top shelf, the peripherals. One thing I forgot to mention in part 1 is my reasoning behind flipping the top monitor upside down. A lot of people were confused, but the main reason why I flipped it upside down is to minimize the bezels between both monitors. For some reason, a lot of people couldn't figure that out. So a few things I ordered from Amazon arrived yesterday actually. We got 2 more boxes of Nanoleaf panels, you guys. We have 15 in here, another 15 in here, so a total of 30 plus another 27 or 28 panels from a previous project I got left over. Holy hell, I'm just realizing we have almost 60 Nanoleaf panels, which is gonna be a lot. That's gonna be going around the entire setup. So like, you know, around the monitors, on the top shelf, and I'm gonna be creating 2 different designs. I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna go with, but I want it to look good. At the same time, I don't want to go too overboard, so we might not use all 60 panels or 58 panels. So we'll see what we're going to do with that, but in the meantime, I want to hook up my boom arm and my microphone, so let's head to the office. Alright, so we are here at the office because today we're going to be painting the microphone and the boom arm. We're going to be using the Rust-Oleum semi-gloss protective enamel. This is usually what I use to paint all of my PC parts if I'm doing any modding. It does a fantastic job and there's no prepping required. That's why I love using this. So we're gonna be painting the SM7B microphone and of course the boom arm, the InnoGear boom arm that I picked up. This is gonna be perfect for my setup, and obviously we're doing it in white so it kind of blends in with the setup's color scheme. So I went in and started taking apart the microphone. We're not gonna be painting the entire thing in white. I'm gonna leave this portion over here black just to add a bit of contrast on there. I don't know yet, we'll see. And then I'm gonna be painting this entire boom arm in white as well. So yeah, definitely lots of painting that's gonna be happening, but I've actually never painted windscreens before. So I have this spare windscreen that came with the microphone. I'm gonna paint this first and see how it turns out before I mess up the microphone. So I'm gonna start off with this. You know, most of life is trial and error. So obviously you try things out, it doesn't work, you learn from it and you move on. That's kind of how I go about my life. So this is another trial and error. So we're gonna see if this actually works. I'm gonna shake up the paint. All right, here goes nothing. All right, so I'll let this dry for a little bit. I'll come back for a couple more coats and then we'll see a quick before and after. All right, so while we wait for the windscreen to dry up, I'm gonna go ahead and start the painting process on the boom arm. I'm basically just using a microfiber cloth to wipe it clean. I wanna make sure that there's no, dust or dirt or even oil on there before I start spraying it. All right, so I just finished applying the first coat. I'm gonna let the fan do its thing and dry this up. I'll be back in about 10-15 minutes and apply the second coat. In the meantime, we can go and prep the microphone. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna use this, but at least I tried. Instead of cutting this out of the video, I'm gonna leave it in here and I'm gonna tell you guys it's probably not a good idea to paint your windscreen. Yeah, at least At least I tried. Oh, and by the way, this is what it looks like on the microphone. I probably shouldn't have tossed it before, putting it on just to see what it looks like. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not perfect at the same time. And I'm not gonna settle for anything less than perfection. So, sorry, this has to go. Let's see if I can make it. God damn it. All right, so what I'm gonna do next is start wrapping the microphone with painter's tape. All the parts that I'm not gonna be painting. So I'm gonna start off with So it's been a full day and the paint has completely dried. Look how gorgeous this boom arm looks. I didn't think I could be this attracted to a boom arm, to be honest, but this is gonna fit beautifully in this setup. So I'm pretty much gonna mount this boom arm on the bottom left corner, right behind the ultraride, so that way the clamp is hidden. So here is the microphone fully assembled. Man, this thing is looking so damn clean. I decided to leave both of the tightening nuts black to kind of give it a nice contrast against the white, but now that I'm kind of looking at it fully assembled, I feel like it's missing some red. The majority of the color scheme colors are white and red with black accents, and I think that there's just too much white going on over here, so I might have to actually take this apart, just this bracket over here, and paint this red. What do you guys think? I'm gonna have to do this in a different video, but then it'll be black, white, and then this whole part will be red. So I think it'll look a lot better, but I don't know, I'm kind of digging the white on black, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section, if I should paint it red or not. All right, so now it's time to mount the boom arm with the microphone to the desk. I decided to leave the clamp black just because it's not gonna be visible behind the setup anyway, so there's no point in painting that in white. Also, I'm not gonna go with the wall shelf option because this boom arm is long enough to extend out and over the ultraride, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about in a bit. So yeah, let's go ahead and clamp this to the desk. So there you have it. Boom arm is hooked up, ready to go with the matching white XLR cable. Of course, call it OCD, whatever you want. I just gotta have everything perfect, of course. So yeah, this is gonna be pretty much the perfect length to my mouth if I'm gonna be streaming or playing games. And I'll show you guys exactly what the setup is gonna look like. Also, check this out, guys. If I'm planning on not using the microphone for the next couple days or maybe in a week, I can actually hide this behind my setup. So all I gotta do is bring out the monitor and tuck this boom arm away behind the top display. So bring it down a little bit. There you go. I mean, this part of the boom arm is still visible, but majority of it is pretty much hidden, so it kind of cleans up the setup a lot. So that's pretty awesome. All right, let's add some RGB lights to this setup. So I have a total of 12 Govee LED strips that were sent to me. I'm actually going to use only 4 of them for the setup, and I'm going to give away the other 8 on my Discord server. So if you guys want to participate for the giveaway, stay tuned for an announcement on how to win one of these bad boys. So I'm going to be adding these strips behind both displays and the desk itself. I'm going to be adding 3 different strips, that way I can control them individually and kind of mix and match and give it a nice fade between each lighting, if that makes any sense. You'll see how it looks at the end. It's gonna look really awesome. So I've been using these Lifx strips since the beginning of this setup. And honestly, I hate these so much. I've used Lifx, I've used Philip Hue, and the problem with these, at least for me, is that they always disconnect from my internet. So every time I have to come back to my setup the next day, I have to reconnect these to my Wi-Fi every single time. And honestly, it just annoyed the crap out of me. The best thing about the Rgb strips is that they only use Bluetooth for connectivity. You don't have to mess with Wi-Fi. So that is why my strips are always connected to my phone, because Bluetooth is always hooked up to it. All right, so I hooked up all 3 strips. We have one behind the top monitor, one behind the ultra-wide, and then one that goes alongside the entire back desk. The only thing left to do is to sync these with my smartphone so I can control the lighting. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and launch the app, Rgb Home, and then I'm gonna add a new device. So I'm gonna click on the plus button. The model name of the Rgb strip is H6125. So I'm just gonna type this in. Here it is. See, it already recognized it. So I'm gonna click on that. It's gonna connect to the strip. And I'm just gonna change the name to desk. And there we are, we're connected to the strip. And then on here, we can obviously change it to whatever color we want. We can also set it to music. So if you have music playing, it will react to, the beats. So right now it's actually reacting to my voice. Let's go ahead and change it to green. Actually, let's go ahead and change it to white. Since the top 2 monitors are purple and pink, I think white will give it a nice blend. I could also change it to any color on the color wheel. So if you have a specific color in mind, then you can actually drag your finger and change it to anything you want. So for example, blue, changes it to blue, but let's keep it back to white for now and see how this looks like in the dark. Damn, that is looking so damn cool. White kind of washes out the other 2 colors because I have purple on top and then pink in the middle. So I think red, oh yeah, red gives it that nice contrast. This is perfect. I'll show you guys what's going on in the back here. So again, 3 strips with 3 different colors, one on top, one on the ultra-wide, and this massive one on the back of the desk. So all these colors are kind of mixing together, and this is the outcome. Of course, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of experiment with different colors and see what works the best, but so far I am loving this tricolor. All right guys, now it's time for the most exciting part of building my dream setup. Hooking up these bad boys all on the wall, so let's get to it. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you open up your Nanolith app and you click on the more, scroll down to where it says Layout Assistant, you can actually come up with your own design here. And what you can do is click on Ready for AR on the bottom and find your surface. So for example, if I want it over here, you tap on the screen and then Nanolith panels appear on your wall. So you can kind of see what design you want to go for before you start placing them on your wall, which is actually pretty cool. You can even click on it and drag it around or even rotate the entire panel. So this is actually going to help me out a lot in coming out with a cool design before I start pasting them on the wall. Here is what we have so far. Oh my god, look at that tower of Nanolith panels. It is insane, absolutely absurd. I think we have about 50 or so panels. I didn't use up all 60 of it, but I do have about 50 or so. I kind of lost track, but oh my god, it looks so sick. I'm not gonna light it up just yet. You guys are gonna have to wait till the end of the video to see what it looks like with all RGB lighting on, but let me tell you, I'm loving it. I am loving the way this is turning out. It is 7 o'clock right now, guys. I've been in this room since 11 a.m. That is almost 8 hours of me working on my dream setup, and it's almost done. It is almost done, and I can finally start enjoying it. I'm so excited I can't contain it. I don't know how I'm gonna sleep tonight, to be honest, but anyways, I'm almost done with it, so I'm gonna go get some sleep, and I'll see you guys very soon. All right, guys, it is day 2 of building my dream setup. I'm so excited that I couldn't get much sleep last night. But yeah, today I get to finally complete it. The first thing we're going to do is install this boom arm I picked up from Amazon. This is the newer microphone boom arm. It's in white, of course. And I'm gonna hook this up over here behind the ultra wide. And this is gonna hold up my camera during streams. I installed a ball head on there so I can adjust the angle of the camera, as well as a quick release mount so I can, well, quickly remove the camera and install it whenever I need to. So anyways, this is gonna be going essentially right over here. I already installed the clamp on the bottom there. And yeah, just like that. That is what it's gonna look like. So this is the camera I'll be using for my streams. This is the Panasonic G7, and I've actually used this camera many times before to shoot videos on the channel. And one of the things I love about this is not only is it a 4K DSLR, but it's got a flip screen, so it's going to be really convenient for me to kind of adjust myself as I mount it on the boom arm. So let's say it's the weekend and I'm feeling like streaming. So I come to my setup and I pull out my boom arm, grab my camera, mount it on the boom arm, adjust my flip screen, and then adjust the angle. Just like that, it's ready to go. So next thing I'm gonna do is the cable management, which is my most favorite part of building any setup. Oddly enough, I don't know, call me weird, but I just love cleaning and tidying things up, so I get a lot of satisfaction in that. I'm gonna be using these channel raceways to run the cables through the bottom of the desk and also keep it from hanging down. And I'll be using some double-sided 3M tape to mount the power strips and the power bricks on the bottom of the desk. Very simple and straightforward. You guys have heard me talk about this millions of times. I'll show you guys what it looks like after. All right, guys, 4 hours and 2 beers later, cable management is finally done. OMG, that is looking so clean. Such a huge difference from before. This time actually was a bit more challenging because I had way more things to connect this time around compared to the previous setup, but alas, I am completely satisfied with the cable management. I'm gonna quickly run through the process and what I did to kind of manage the cables in case you guys wanna know. So let's start off from the right side. As you guys can see, I tried to keep a straight path on all the cable routing just so it's a lot cleaner. You know, you don't wanna go diagonal across your desk. It's not gonna look as good. So just straight down or side to side. I used a bunch of cable clips to, you know, kind of help with the routing, and I mounted the power strip against the desk using some 3M tape, and of course the MVP, which is the channel raceway, which is used to kind of just route the cables from one side of the desk to the other. A bunch of Velcro straps are also used to kind of tidy the cables together, and then we got the power strip on the left side. There's always going to be a lot of cable traffic where the power strip is hooked up. So, you know, I still did my best to try and keep things as parallel and straight as possible. You know, just a bunch of cable clips and Velcro straps to keep things nice and tidy. Of course, I had to go with a USB hub extension because some of the cables were too short. So this Anchor USB hub actually came to the rescue, and I was able to plug in a few things that couldn't reach the back of my PC. Also, as you guys can tell, I was kind of running out of space to mount stuff under the desk, so I used this support beam to mount a couple power bricks over here as well, and I routed the cables alongside the legs so you can't really see it from the front. Here's what the cable management looks like at eye level. Not a single cable inside, well, you know, except for the power strip cable, which I used a white raceway to hide, but I feel like it was a bit unnecessary, but you know, I covered it anyways. And then we got some cables, of course, hanging down from the power strip. But overall, I am super satisfied with the cable management. And then let me show you the cable management behind the PC. So I used a couple of white Velcro straps to tie the cables near the top and bottom. So you got this straight path of cables going down into the power strip. Beautiful. There was one more thing I installed in my setup, and this was kind of last minute, but take a look at this cute little pencil drawer I picked up from Amazon. This is the perfect size to store all of my essentials, you know, stuff that I use constantly every single day. We got a pen to sign contracts and stuff, USB drive, SD card reader to transfer files from my camera, just, you know, really cool size, and it's kind of hidden underneath the desk. This is actually a really good alternative compared to that massive pencil drawer that you guys have seen me recommend so many times on Amazon. Absolutely love this thing. Perfect. All right, guys, now before I reveal the final setup to you, I'm actually gonna surprise my wife because she hasn't seen this at all. And surprisingly, my mom showed up today too, so I'm gonna surprise her as well and see what their reaction is or what they think about my setup. So I'm pretty excited. Let's go see what they think. Oh my God. Why did you bring Storm? Hi, Storm. You want to see my new setup? Okay, when I count down to 1, look back, okay? 3, 2, 1.
Wow.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the setup's final form, at least for now. You guys know how it goes. You're never really done upgrading your setup. There's always something you want to improve every single time. But for now, I am absolutely satisfied with how everything turned out. I already have a few upgrades planned. The first thing is the custom PC has to go. I'm going to be building myself a super high-end, overkill, overpowered water-cooled system rocking dual 3080 Ti's at the end of this year. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say goodbye to Frost. It's been fun while it lasted, but I gotta make room for Big Red version 4. The next thing I'm gonna upgrade is the top display. This is a 27-inch 1080p 240Hz monitor. It's absolutely insane for gaming, but you know, it's only a 1080p monitor after all. So if I'm doing work, which is about 80% of the time, I use the top display for multitasking. And unfortunately, 1080p just isn't enough for me. So I would love to upgrade this to a 1440p 240Hz panel. That way I can take advantage of the extra pixels for multitasking. Other than those two upgrades, I don't really have anything else planned for this setup for the rest of this year. So I will enjoy this as much as I can before I move houses in a year or two, and then obviously I'm gonna have to completely take this down. So this is what the setup looks like without any of the RGB lighting. The nanoleaf panels are off, as well as all 3 of the RGB strips, and this is what it's gonna look like until 6 or 7 p.m. Each day. That's when I can turn the lights on and kind of set the mood for the remainder of the night. Every single thing I've done to the setup has function and form. Every single piece of gear has its own purpose, and I did my best to make it symmetrical or balanced. Let's start off with the nanoleaf panels up top. It is a perfect symmetrical design right smack in the center, and then we got a wall shelf in the center as well, holding all of my Dragon Ball figurines. We got Dragon Ball Z, GT, and of course my favorite Dragon Ball Super. We got 4 collectibles on the left, 4 on the right, and this massive Goku Super Saiyan 4 statue right smack in the center. And of course we got both displays, the top one directly in the center of the ultra-wide, and then everything else is pretty much offsetting each other. We got the obviously speakers on both sides. We got the Go XLR mini audio interface offsetting my 8TB external hard drive from WD. We got a coaster that a subscriber made for me, offsetting my phone stand with the built-in charger, and then of course my headphone hanger with the headphones offsetting my custom PC. Oh, and of course both of the boom arms. We got the DSLR camera for streaming and my SM7B microphone. So So this over here is pretty much my streaming setup. So once I'm ready to stream, I'm gonna bring down the top monitor. That way it's eye level, and I'm gonna use the bottom ultra-wide for multitasking. So let's pretend that this is my Twitch account, right? I can actually still read your chat on one window and still have two other windows open because this monitor only blocks off 10%, maybe 20% of the ultra-wide. I can still open up windows on the bottom and see what's going on. So, I can have Twitch on the left side, I can have maybe Twitter in the middle, and then my Discord server on the right. So perfect multitasking over here for both of my displays. I got my boom arm or microphone on the left set up, and then I got my DSLR camera over here for streaming. One cool thing I just figured out with the Rgb strips, you guys, since I have 3 separate strips, it's kind of annoying having to control each one individually. Well, on the app, as long as you're using Rgb strips, you can actually combine them all together. So I went to the scene tab, and then I added all of the Rgb strips into a group called Dream Setup, and then through here I can pretty much control the lighting with just a simple tap. So I can select any color I want on here, or I can go on the color wheel and set a specific color, which is actually really convenient. I'm glad that they included this feature in their app. And then you got everyone's favorite, rainbow. So if you're not a fan of the single color, then you can set it to the rainbow scene and just have all the colors cycle through, which looks pretty cool too. So yeah guys, this is my dream setup. I am super happy that it's finally complete and I can start enjoying it. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section down below. If there's anything you would have done differently or anything I should upgrade, let me know everything in the comment section. And also let me know what you guys think about the monitor layout, specifically the LG Ultra Wide that's on the bottom here that's tilted. I'm not gonna lie, it took me a couple days to get adjusted to the weird ultra wide angle, but in the end it worked out perfectly because now I'm able to kind of keep the top monitor almost at eye level. Because if I were to keep this straight, it would have pushed the top monitor a lot higher and I would strain my neck looking up every single time. So that's pretty much it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll drop a link to everything I used to make my dream setup come to life down below if you guys want to check it out. And consider subscribing if you guys want to see more awesome setup videos like this. I love your beautiful faces and I'll see you very soon in the next one.